An idea brought me awake one morning in New York. I almost didn't write it down. What if a mosquito sucked the blood of a dinosaur 100 million years ago? The insect is then covered in tree sap, which, over the millennia, becomes amber. The insect is preserved perfectly. But you see, and here's the clever part, wouldn't the dinosaur blood be preserved as well? The blood holds DNA, a tiny spiral of genetic code. Abracadabra. The first task was genetic recovery, acquiring Jurassic or Cretaceous amber, extracting preserved DNA, and reassembling the complete sequences. Bringing it up the well, we called it. If we succeeded, the InGen technology would be historic. We were planning to conquer time's power over life, its power to extinguish and erase. It would change all our lives, as profoundly, as irrevocably as the atomic bomb. And then it opened up. The code read true. The barrier of time for an instant opened. Nedry and I stared into the monitor. Straight back through 65,000 centuries. Creation is an act of sheer will. And next time, it'll be flawless.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Bob1445 and welcome to the latest installment of our All the Dinosaurs series. Today I'll be going over the species cloned on Isla Sorna in 1999 during InGen's research and development project for Jurassic Park's second incarnation, more commonly known as the Amalgam Testing. The Amalgam Testing, or Project Regenesis, was an illegal cloning program carried out by International Genetic Technologies in 1999. It involved the revival of many prehistoric species, which ultimately led to the near-complete biological collapse of the island's ecosystem, and was ultimately used to destroy the 1997 Gene Guard Act. Following the San Diego incident of 1997, the United States House Committee of Sciences passed the Ethical Negligence Within Paleogenetics Resurrection Bill, or the Gene Guard Act. Its purpose was to restrict the further cloning of prehistoric life, as well as protect the already existing animals on Isla Sorna. Shortly after, InGen filed for Chapter 11 and declared bankruptcy. The following year, in 1998, Masrani Global purchased the remnants of International Genetic Technologies and promised to uphold the responsibility to keep the animals safe and secure away from human involvement. However, InGen had other plans. Shortly after the merger, InGen organized an expedition to reclaim Isla Sorna and continue their research into genetic engineering. Within 100 days after InGen was bought out by Masrani Global, Dr. Henry Wu and other InGen scientists landed on Site B and began their work. Over the next 9 months, InGen worked in complete silence, with no one the wiser about what was actually going on at Isla Sorna. Not much is known about what went on here, but through the power of speculation and an unnecessary amount of headcanon, we may uncover the truth behind the species cloned in Project Regenesis. Let's talk about amalgams for a minute. What exactly is an amalgam? We can separate all of InGen species into three main groups: GMOs, amalgams, and hybrids. GMOs are pretty standard. DNA gaps are filled with modern species, and the resulting animal is a dinosaur asterisk, emphasis on the asterisk. Some animals have unusual characteristics such as venom or sequential hermaphroditism, but typically they're just dinosaurs. Hybrids are different. Their genetic donors are typically other dinosaurs. Hybrids like the Indominus rex have the DNA from wildly different species like Giganotosaurus, Velociraptor, Therizinosaurus, and Deinosuchus. Due to this conglomeration, the resulting animal doesn't resemble any known species on the fossil record. Unfortunately, we don't have the best understanding of what an amalgam is, as no clear definition is given. But our best guess, based on what the Dino Tracker website says regarding the Sinoceratops, is basically in between GMOs and hybrids. Their genetic donors are other dinosaurs, but they actually resemble a species on the fossil record. Maybe this is intentional. They use their knowledge on genetic engineering to create the most accurate species based on their knowledge at the time by giving their dinosaur the features of the dinosaur they're trying to recreate. Now that we've established what an amalgam is, or rather what we at the Amber Line think amalgams are, let's move on to the actual species cloned during this time. Unfortunately, we don't actually have a fully extensive list, and only 4 species are confirmed to have actually been cloned during Project Regenesis, but we've used alternative sources to expand the list and make it more interesting. Ankylosaurus magniventris. 2 variations of Ankylosaurus were created as a result of this project, but are rarely seen on Isla Sorna in the films. The first variant, the red-headed Ankylosaurus, and the one actually seen in Jurassic Park 3, is only cited in 2 scenes with collectively less than 30 seconds of screen time. The second variant is actually seen in Jurassic World, and we only know as part of the Amalgam Testing due to the DPG website. The now removed Adopted Dinosaurs section of the DPG featured many species and even gave information regarding their age. For the Ankylosaurus, the recorded age was 17 years old at the time of 2018, making her birth around 2000 to 2002, at a time where no genetic testing was active on any island, meaning she was likely an amalgam brought over to Isla Nublar in 2004. Both variants of Ankylosaurus lived around the west to midwestern regions of Isla Sorna between the Embryonics Administration and Aviary Compound. Datosaurus bachienensis. The Datosaurus is an interesting addition to the roster, as it doesn't technically appear in the films. The storyboards for Jurassic Park 3 show the carcass the bull Tyrannosaurus was eating was a sort of sauropod, and according to the Jurassic Park 3 novelization, it was Datosaurus. However, the actual prop used in the film was the Parasaurolophus carcass used in the Rex nest for the Lost World Jurassic Park. This certainly makes Datosaurus' validity and canon questionable, but for the sake of this video, we'll be including it anyways. Datosaurus is a mamenchisaurid dinosaur from the Middle Jurassic Shaximau Formation in China and has been observed to be living in the southwest region close to the airstrip. Diplodocus carnegii. This species comes from the Jurassic Park 3 adventure novel Survivor, as one of the species Eric Kirby comes across during his travels on Site B. Diplodocus is a sauropod dinosaur. The name means double beam. It was named as such by Othniel Charles March in 1878. The name is in reference to the double-beamed chevron bones found on the underside of the tail. Diplodocus has been observed living in small family groups, and has been observed living alongside a breeding pair of Ankylosaurus near the Embryonics Administration Complex. Eric Kirby has noted that they have adapted to eating banana leaves. Corythosaurus casuarius. Having been originally cloned in 1987, it fell back into extinction after the events of Hurricane Clarissa. An earlier version of the script actually mentioned that in 1989 there had been 3 cloned variants of the Corythosaurus, and it is safe to assume that all 3 variants had fallen back into extinction by the events of the Lost World in 1997. Upon restarting production of cloning, it makes sense for Dr. Wu to revive one of his lost species in a 4th variation, this version that we ultimately see in Jurassic Park 3. As of the 2001 Isla Sorna incident, it was staying in the central west regions close to the airstrip and Embryonics Administration, but could have potentially a wider range that reaches the worker village. Iguanodon bernisartensis. The Iguanodon is another entry that comes from the Jurassic Park 3 adventure novel, as it is a species that Eric Kirby stumbled upon during a stay on Isla Sorna. While hiding from a potential raptor attack, Eric had suddenly been pinned against the ground. As he was preparing for the worst, he realized that the dinosaur pinning him down wasn't attacking him, and it was actually afraid. After some time, the dinosaur pinning him down, a juvenile iguanodon, got up and actually became interested in the food that Eric had been holding on to him during his stay in the Embryonics Administration building. Although unlikely, this iguanodon could very well be the same variant seen in Biosyn Sanctuary in Jurassic World Dominion. Muttaburrasaurus langdoni. The Muttaburrasaurus is another species on here that might actually be a surprise to some viewers. This is another one without precedence from the movies, books, games, or even the adventure novels. This species exclusively, as far as we know, only shows up in a promotional collector card that was produced for Jurassic Park 3 in 2001. At the moment, it is currently unknown where this species would be living. Pteranodon longiceps. This variation of Pteranodon is certainly interesting, being that the very name Pteranodon means toothless wing, and this entry has a set of teeth adorning its beak. It's unknown as to why InGen created the Highland Pteranodon, considering the earlier Inland Pteranodon didn't go extinct. What is truly most perplexing is the animal's size. Females have a wingspan of up to 9 meters, already making it the largest Pteranodon variant in the franchise, but the male is even larger. With a wingspan of 14 meters, it's as large as an Asdarkid, but with the added threat of needle-like teeth. The Highland Pteranodon, created during the Amalgam Testing, defies explanation. With its toothy beak and monstrous size, it's as if its very creation was an accident. Ceratosaurus nasicornis. The Ceratosaurus in Jurassic Park 3 was unfortunately more of a cameo with barely a minute of screen time. Although it was not seen for long, the Ceratosaurus made its mark in the franchise and was revitalized in Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous, and will hopefully be making an appearance in Chaos Theory. The original model used in the third film is actually a modified Tyrannosaurus, but was remade for the animated series with a fresh design that still captures the nostalgic feeling of Isla Sorna. This species lived along the central river system of Site B and preyed on smaller dinosaurs while they drank from the water's edge. Last, and certainly not least, Spinosaurus aegyptiacus. The predator of apex predators, the infamous Spinosaurus was designed to be the perfect killer. Despite the controversial kill in Jurassic Park 3, the Spinosaurus has become incredibly popular amongst Jurassic fans and will only continue to grow as the series continues. It is unknown how many were created in 1999, but we know the one seen in the third film was a formidable predator, capable of withstanding the tremendous bite force of T-Rex and cunning enough to ultimately kill one. While the Giganotosaurus is quick enough to evade the attacks of a T-Rex, the Spinosaurus is strong enough to take it on at full force. This was only a fraction of the lore behind Project Regenesis. With luck, hopefully one day more information will come to light, and a full documented story will shine upon perhaps InGen's darkest secret. Who knows? Perhaps we can't even imagine the horrors lurking on the island of Isla Sorna. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and thanks for mining with us.
Hey Ember Miners, thanks for watching today's video. Be sure to click the subscribe button on your way out and click the bell icon to be notified of our videos when we upload them.